Jake Paul versus Andrew the Top G Tate. We don't know if this fight is actually going to happen, but I'm hoping that this fight is going to happen. Out of all the fights that Jake Paul has had, for some reason, this fight excites me the most. Like, yes, he's fought some legends in the past, right? He recently fought Anderson Silva and he beat him by decision. He deserves a lot of credit, man. Like, he developed a lot in terms of boxing. I don't think Andrew Tate would be much of a challenge, but it's not going to be easy. I would say that Andrew Tate looks a lot bigger than Jake Paul. Jake Paul, yes, he's younger, but Andrew Tate looks a lot bigger, and if I must say, a lot scarier. I wouldn't want to go up against anyone that has a face like that. Like, he looks like he's gone through some shit in the past. I've actually been following the guy for a long time. Like, I remember following his Instagram once he had 60,000 subscribers. And till now, like, it's crazy how much he blew up. Like, it's amazing. Like, he is a genius. And he's a genius also for one particular reason. Now, I remember a couple years ago, he posted a video on YouTube. I think it's still there, and I'll pop it up here.
Jake Paul, it's clear to me you are desperate for a reality check. You know what? If I made my money impressing 4-year-olds on YouTube and managed to somehow become a multimillionaire from it, I'd probably live in a dream world too. But let me explain something to you about combat sports. There are a whole bunch of men out here who will never be as famous as you, will never make the money you've made, who would kick the living fuck out of you. This is the hardest sport in the world, and people dedicate their lives to this, and most of them never get a payday. It never pays off for the majority of fighters, all of which would fuck you up. I'm one of the lucky ones. I made a little bit of money. I don't have 50 million to bet with you, but I do have 3 million to bet with you. So this is your offer. $3 million. You put 3, I put 3. Winner takes all. I'm 5 years out the ring. I'm a kickboxer. You're 2-0 in boxing. I'm 0-0 in boxing. I've never even fought boxing. I'm a retired old man. 5 years I've been sitting around smoking cigars and fucking bitches, which are better looking than the fucking girl you're advertising anyway. I will fight you any day of the fucking week. Don't worry about Conor McGregor fucking you up. Don't worry about Floyd Mayweather fucking you up. You only want to lose to them so you can say, well, I lost to Conor McGregor. Why don't you lose to an old man who's retired? I live in the real fucking world, Jake. There's a whole bunch of fighters out here who live in the real fucking world. Men who are dangerous and dedicated their lives to this sport and don't have a fucking fraction of the money you have because you've managed to become a fucking clown. The biggest clown on the fucking internet. If you want to fight and you want to send a contract, send one to me. I will take a few weeks break from living my retired life to kick the living fuck out of a fucking goofy, fucking entitled dickhead like you. You know my name, Andrew Tate. Fucking Google it if you want to know more. Any day, anytime, let's fucking go.
The popularity that he had at the time, I was thinking, nah, this is never gonna happen. But somehow, this guy ended up manifesting what he said in that video. It's crazy. It's crazy. This guy is so freaking determined in everything that he does. Like, we know he's a millionaire. Obviously, we've heard it many times all over the internet. You don't get to that point by not believing in the words that you say. He said this a long time, like before he got cancelled on all the social medias. He said that there's a plan that he has in his mind, right? And one of them was blowing up on the mainstream social medias. I believe that the other plan was to fight Jake Paul, either Logan Paul or Jake Paul. But Logan Paul blew it up out of the water. He's never gonna fight Andrew Tate ever again. Like, right, especially after the shit that he said once he got cancelled. I don't know how can someone be so ironic saying that someone deserves to get cancelled whilst you were in the same spot years ago. To be fair, the shit that you did, the shit that Logan Paul did would have been more justifiable to be cancelled than what a couple words that Andrew Tate said on the internet, right? And a lot of them were out of context. But anyway, that's another point. I'm really excited. If this is going to happen, I'm going to tune in. I haven't tuned in for the last fights that Jake Paul had. But with this one, I just can't wait if it's going to happen. All right, please make it happen. Please make it happen. Now let's look at them stylistically. Jake Paul has been training boxing for a while now, and we've seen his development over the years. I wouldn't be surprised if he spent over 6 figures of his money to train. Right? He can afford it. He's working really hard from what we see. His technique is a lot sharper. He's a lot smarter in the ring. Right? He does have some talent. He's got that innate athletic talent that not many people have. Right? He's got a background in athletics. He used to be a wrestler for his school with his brother. And you can tell he's fit. He's a fit man, right? And on the other hand, we've got Andrew Tate, who has been a 4-time world kickboxing champion. Now, that is a big achievement. He might be older. He might be 35, which I don't think that's old at all. Some people say, yeah, he's old. He's not going to be able to keep up. His cardio is going to go off. But 35, like, that's the last year of your prime. Now, your prime as a man is between 27 and 35. So he's there. He's in the right age range. I believe that Andrew Tate's mindset is going to be a real problem for Jake Paul. Everything that he's earned, he's worked for himself. Whilst on the other hand, Jake Paul, he's had a pretty easy upbringing. He has had all the success in the world from a really young age. On the other hand, Andrew Tate has to struggle for it. When someone struggles, they develop a mental fortitude throughout their life, and you develop a killer instinct where you're just not afraid of who's in front of you. You look at them straight in the eyes. There's no thought in your head about, what if he's gonna beat me? What if? That is inexistent in your head. And all you think about, like a lion hunting his prey, is, I am gonna get him. If he thought about all the negatives that could come out of him participating in this boxing match, he wouldn't do it. Like, I don't think money would be a big motivator for this guy to accept a fight like that. He already has all the money in the world. So there's definitely an ulterior motive to it. Like, he wouldn't take it if he didn't believe that he could win. He's not afraid of anybody. I don't think Andrew Tate would be afraid to square up with Jake Paul. Based on the experience that he's had. Like, you don't become a 4-time world kickboxing champion if you're not good. Yes, he's older. Yes, he hasn't done it in a while. But the experience is there. The technique is there. I've seen some of his training videos, and he's got the technique and he's got the knockout power. Now, if we look back at all the fighters that Jake Paul has fought, from Ben Askren to Tyron Woodley to Anderson Silva, they made probably one of their biggest paydays of their life. And we know one of their motivation to get into a boxing fight with a YouTuber was the big paycheck at the end. It was always going to be a win-win situation. Yes, they would get embarrassed a little bit, but they would walk home with a massive check. Andrew Tate is already a rich man. He already has it all. Like, he's got all the money that he could ever dream of. He can buy jets and cars and just live the $1 million lifestyle that everybody dreams of. So why would he get into a fight like this? To put himself on the line with the risk of getting brain damaged, with the risk of facing loss in front of the whole wide world, with the risk of just walking away and admitting that this YouTuber who makes videos for children beat you. I'll tell you why. Because he believes he can win. But this tells you something. It tells you that he's confident that he could be successful. You don't want to underestimate a man like that. He's achieved big things in life, and you don't achieve those big things in life by just wishing about it and not doing it and not believing that you're going to achieve those things. He believes that he would knock Jake Paul out cold. Now, who do I think is going to win? This is a big matchup. There's not much of a disadvantage between their athleticism. Yes, Andrew, yes, he's a kickboxer. He's had experience in kickboxing, but he can throw a punch. And Jake Paul obviously has had a lot more experience. He is not new to shining under the light in front of millions of people and fighting. I don't think Andrew Tate would care about fighting in front of millions of people. At one point, he was the most searched up person in the world on Google. Yeah, this is going to be a really good fight. Can't wait. Look, yes, I know everybody has doubted Jake Paul over and over again, you know, thinking, oh, this is a great matchup. This is going to be really hard for Jake Paul. This is the biggest challenge yet. He always proved them wrong. And he's smart. He knows how to pick his opponents. He picks them in a way so that people think that he might get beat, but he knows that he has a chance to beat them, either because they're too old or just because the transition between MMA to boxing might be a bit too much or out of their comfort zone. But Andrew Tate, he's in the comfort zone. His hands are there. Knowing how viral Andrew Tate likes to be, he's definitely want to make this match something that people remember him for. And Jake Paul, I wish you all the best, man. Hopefully it's going to happen. And yeah, thank you for listening. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And be ready for many more videos to come. Bye.